Spider-Man.
The Spidey tracker? Wait, are you looking for Spider-Man?
See?
Just wait here, okay?
Welcome to New York.
Hey, I heard you were looking for me. You good with heights?
¿Cómo?
Spider-Man just stepped into World Cup season, and this is the kind of marketing move that only works when two worlds are already massive on their own. Sony Pictures has released a new World Cup-themed promo for Spider-Man Brand New Day. And instead of giving us another quick shot of Peter Parker swinging across New York, the studio brought in Lionel Messi. Yes, that Messi, the Argentine football legend, appears alongside Tom Holland's Peter Parker in a playful neighborhood spot. And the result is designed to get Marvel fans and soccer fans talking at the same time. The clip starts with a simple setup. Peter Parker runs into Messi in what looks like an ordinary neighborhood store or cafe, and Peter instantly recognizes him, because of course he does. Messi reveals that he has been using a tracking app to help search for Spider-Man, while Peter quietly slips away before the situation becomes too awkward. Seconds later, Spider-Man appears and the promo shifts from casual fan moment into full superhero mode. And if you think about it, Spider-Man and Messi actually make a strange amount of sense together. Both are globally loved. Both are associated with impossible movement. One bends gravity with a soccer ball, the other bends gravity with webs. It gives the campaign a lighter, funnier energy at a time when the movie itself seems to be going into a much lonelier and more emotionally intense chapter for Peter Parker. The contrast matters. Brand New Day is not picking up with Peter in a comfortable place. After Spider-Man No Way Home, the entire world forgot who Peter Parker is. His friends forgot him. He chose to erase himself from their lives to protect them, and now he is living as a young adult in a New York that no longer knows his name. That is a brutal starting point for a hero built around responsibility, friendship, and sacrifice. The new movie reportedly begins sometime after that reset. Peter is now operating as a full-time Spider-Man, fighting crime in the city and putting everything he has into protecting people who have no idea what he gave up for them. That is classic Spider-Man tragedy. And from what we know, that pressure is not just emotional anymore. It may be physical too. The story points toward a surprising evolution in Peter's body. As the pressure builds, Peter begins going through changes that could threaten the foundation of who he is. That is huge for this version of Spider-Man, because Tom Holland's Peter has always felt like the most human and vulnerable live-action version of the character. If the movie pushes him towards strange new abilities or instincts he cannot control, then Brand New Day may give us a Peter Parker who is not only fighting villains, but fighting himself. At the same time, a strange new crime pattern begins to emerge across New York, bringing Peter face to face with one of the most powerful threats he has ever encountered. That is where this movie could separate itself from No Way Home. That film was a multiverse event full of legacy characters, nostalgia, and huge emotional payoffs. Brand New Day sounds more grounded, more street level, and more focused on what happens when Peter has to rebuild his life from nothing. The cast alone tells us this will not be a small story. Zendaya returns as MJ, Jacob Batalon returns as Ned Leeds, and both characters are crucial because they represent the life Peter lost. They may not remember him, but the audience does, and that makes every interaction with them painful. Jon Bernthal joins as Frank Castle, also known as the Punisher, which immediately changes the energy of the film. Frank does not believe in Peter's moral code. He does not fight crime with mercy. Putting him next to Spider-Man is a recipe for serious tension. Mark Ruffalo also returns as Bruce Banner and Hulk, which suggests the story may go beyond ordinary street crime. Michael Mando is back as Matt Gargan, better known as Scorpion, while Marvin Jones III appears as Lonnie Lincoln, also known as Tombstone. Sadie Sink, Liza, Colón-Zayas, and Tramell Tillman are also involved, and the mystery around those roles is already fueling fan theories. Destin Daniel Cretton is directing, and that is another reason I am interested. Shanghai and the Legend of the Ten Rings proved he can handle emotional family drama and clean superhero action. If he brings that same balance here, Peter may finally get the grounded reset he needs after No Way Home, he does not need another universe-breaking event right away. He needs a story that makes New York feel dangerous, lonely, and alive again. But the other big update is what may be happening behind the scenes. According to a new report, Tom Holland has become much more involved in shaping Spider-Man's creative direction. In a way, compared to Tom Hiddleston's long-term involvement with Loki, Hiddleston did not just play Loki over time. He became one of the people who understood that character's emotional history better than almost anyone. If Holland is getting a similar voice in Peter Parker's future, that could be a very good sign. It means the character is not being treated like a costume that can simply be moved from movie to movie. It means there are deeper conversations happening about who Peter is, where he goes next, and how his story continues across different corners of the MCU and Sony's Spider-Man world. And if the MCU really is heading toward a larger reset, Peter Parker may become one of the most important characters to watch. That is why this messy promo is more than just a funny commercial. On the surface, it is a cute crossover between Spider-Man and the biggest name in soccer. Underneath that, it shows how aggressively Sony wants Brand New Day to feel global. Spider-Man has always been one of Marvel's most universal heroes because you do not need cosmic timelines to understand Peter Parker. You just need to understand what it feels like to carry too much responsibility while trying to hold your life together. Messi stepping into this campaign only amplifies that reach. He is not just an athlete anymore. He is a global cultural symbol. When he appears in a Spider-Man promo, it tells audiences that this movie is being sold as an event bigger than a normal superhero release. And for fans, it creates exactly the kind of shareable moment studios dream about. People may debate whether it is cheesy, brilliant, unnecessary, or weirdly perfect, but they are still talking about it. In marketing, that is the whole point. The bigger question is whether the movie itself can match that energy. Brand New Day has all the pieces: a broken Peter Parker, returning emotional anchors, street-level villains, a dangerous new physical change, Punisher, Hulk, Scorpion, Tombstone, and now a marketing campaign that is swinging for the biggest possible audience. That is a lot of pressure. But if the film keeps the focus on Peter's loneliness and growth, this could be the fresh start the title promises. Spider-Man Brand New Day arrives in theaters on July 31st. I want to know where you stand on this one. Do you like seeing Sony go this big with a messy crossover? Or do you think the movie should keep its marketing more focused on Peter's darker new chapter? Either way, this promo did its job. It put Spider-Man back in the conversation, pulled in the World Cup crowd, and reminded everyone that Peter Parker's next swing may be one of the biggest superhero moments of the year.